July 15th, the regime committed an extremely dangerous escalation that I think people might miss because it's not so flashy. There aren't crazy, outrageous videos about it. Nobody died. The FBI raided the homes of ICE protesters in Spokane, Washington. They arrested multiple people, including former city council president.
Court documents reveal former city council president Ben Stuckert faces one count of impeding officers. And we've just learned at this hour that Stuckert has been released from custody. His call to block a bus intended to transport two immigrants to an ICE facility in Tacoma led to a night of clashes between protesters and police back in June. Spokane's Mayor Lisa Brown issued a statement calling Stuckert's detention politically motivated. She also accused the Trump administration for weaponizing the Department of Justice and, quote, trampling on the U.S. Constitution.
And what was their crime? They organized protests against ICE online, and then they sat and they blocked the driveway of this ICE detention center in a peaceful protest. That is what got them federal charges and got them raided by the FBI. One of the charges laid against these people is because he tossed a smoke canister back at the cops, and the government says he threw a dangerous weapon at them. The hypocrisy of that. The cops deployed the smoke canister at the protesters, which apparently was fine, but when they toss it back at the cops, it suddenly becomes a dangerous weapon. This is so dangerous because this is laying the groundwork and setting the precedent for arresting people based on their political dissent. That's what protesting is. It is protected First Amendment rights of political dissent. Once it becomes normalized and acceptable to lay federal charges against peaceful protesters, then you no longer have a democracy. You no longer have freedom. I grew up in such a society in China. People are paranoid, and to this day, Chinese people do not trust each other. And a large part of that is because you never know if your neighbor will turn you in for something political that you said, and then the secret police will come and take you away. And they've been laying the groundwork for this, right? Because the couple of weeks before the Camarillo raid, where ICE caused a farm worker to fall to his death because they were chasing him, they'd been arresting protesters that were just filming ICE. Because remember, at the beginning of these raids, they never touched U.S. citizens unless it was racially profiling on accident where they thought a citizen was actually an immigrant. But in the 2 weeks leading up to the Camarillo raid, they started arresting protester citizens in earnest. So we got to keep fighting, keep protesting, keep spreading the word, keep saving money, keep boycotting for a general strike, because now we're like one step removed from U.S. citizens being sent to these concentration camps for their political beliefs.